For centuries, the giant stone heads of Easter Island, known as Moai, have stared out at the world, their expressions enigmatic, their origins shrouded in mystery. We've all seen the pictures of these colossal heads, stern and silent, dotting the dramatic landscape of Rapa Nui. For a long time, that's all we thought they were, just heads. But this was only a fraction of the story, the tip of a massive stone iceberg. Recent excavations have unearthed a stunning revelation that completely changes our understanding of these iconic monuments. The Moai don't just have heads, they have full bodies, buried deep beneath the earth for centuries. This discovery wasn't just about finding more stone. As archaeologists carefully dug away the soil that had accumulated over hundreds of years, they found that these hidden torsos were covered in intricate carvings and inscriptions, a language of symbols we are only just beginning to decipher. These petroglyphs, protected from the elements by their earthen blanket, tell a story. They feature crescents, which some believe represent the canoes of the Rapa Nui people, and other symbols whose meanings are still being debated by scholars. It's a hidden text, preserved in stone, offering a direct link to the beliefs and the history of the people who created them. The sheer scale of these statues is mind-boggling. The tallest of them, a Moai named Paro, would have stood nearly 33 feet high and weighed over 80 tons. Another, left unfinished in the quarry, would have dwarfed even that, measuring an astonishing 72 feet long. Imagine the society that could achieve such a feat with no written language as we know it, no metal tools, and no wheels. The Rapa Nui people quarried, carved, and transported these behemoths across the island. This has been one of the greatest archaeological puzzles of all time. How did they do it? For years, theories abounded. Some suggested the statues were rolled on logs, a plausible idea but one that would have required vast amounts of timber on an island that is now largely barren. The deforestation theory itself became a central part of a popular narrative suggesting the Rapa Nui civilization collapsed after recklessly using up all their resources. Other theories were even more outlandish, involving extraterrestrial assistance or lost, advanced technologies. But the truth, as is often the case, is far more ingenious and deeply human. The answer lies not in a cautionary tale of ecological collapse, but in a story of incredible cooperation, social cohesion, and clever engineering. The Rapa Nui people themselves have always maintained in their oral traditions that the statues walked to their final destinations. This wasn't a metaphor. It was a literal description of the process, a piece of ancestral knowledge that modern science is finally proving to be true. Archaeologists and engineers, working together, have put this ancient claim to the test. They created precise replicas of the Moai, paying close attention to their shape and center of gravity. The statues are not top-heavy as they appear, their design is a masterpiece of subtle engineering. With a low center of gravity and a D-shaped, forward-leaning base, the statues were inherently unstable on their own. But this instability was the key to their movement. By attaching ropes to the head and rocking the statue from side to side, teams of people could make it walk. Picture it, 3 groups of people with strong ropes. One group on the left pulls, causing the statue to tilt and pivot forward on one edge of its base. Then, the group on the right pulls, and it pivots forward on the other edge. A third group, positioned behind the statue, would have used a rope to keep it from falling forward and to help stabilize the motion. With a rhythmic, coordinated effort of heaving and pulling, the massive stone figure would waddle and shuffle forward, step by lumbering step, just as the legends described. This walking method explains many peculiar features found by archaeologists. Roads across the island are not flat, they are concave, perfectly shaped to help guide the wobbling base of a moving Moai and prevent it from tipping over completely. Furthermore, many of the statues that are found fallen along these ancient roads are not lying on their backs, as you might expect if they had been rolled on logs and slipped off. Instead, many are found face down, exactly as you'd expect if a walking statue had stumbled and fallen forward. Others are found on their backs, which could have happened if the stabilizing rope at the back snapped or lost its tension. This breakthrough in understanding does more than just solve a logistical puzzle. It paints a vibrant new picture of the Rapa Nui society. Moving these statues was not a brute force task performed by a subjugated labor force. It was a celebratory, ritualistic procession. It would have been a massive community effort, involving a significant portion of the island's population. It was a performance, a testament to the power of a chief, and a demonstration of the unity and cooperative spirit of their clan. The chants, the rhythm of the pull, the slow, majestic walk of the godlike ancestor figure, it must have been an awe-inspiring spectacle. So what were these statues for? The Moai are believed to be representations of deified ancestors. They were erected on ceremonial platforms called ahu, with their backs to the sea, watching over the villages and their descendants. They were conduits of spiritual power, or mana, protectors and guardians of the living. The quarry where they were carved, Reino Uraku, is a volcanic crater on the eastern side of the island. It is a remarkable place, littered with nearly 400 statues in various stages of completion. Some are still attached to the bedrock, barely outlined, while others are fully carved and seem ready to begin their walk. Walking through the quarry is like stepping into a workshop frozen in time. It provides invaluable insight into the carving process. The sculptors used hard stone tools called toki to chip away at the volcanic tuff, or relatively soft rock that hardens when exposed to the air. It was painstaking work, requiring immense skill and patience. The question of why the statue building stopped so abruptly is another part of the island's complex history. The traditional narrative points to internal warfare and societal collapse brought on by the exhaustion of the island's natural resources. While deforestation certainly occurred, newer research suggests a more nuanced story. The arrival of Europeans in the 18th century introduced diseases to which the islanders had no immunity, decimating the population. Later, Peruvian slave raids in the 1860s carried away a significant portion of the remaining population, including many of the elders who held the community's ritual knowledge. It was this combination of external pressures, disease, and social disruption that likely led to the end of the Moai building era, not just a self-inflicted ecological disaster. The Rapa Nui people were not reckless destroyers of their environment, they were resilient survivors who adapted to an isolated and challenging landscape for centuries. The rediscovery that the Moai have bodies, and the confirmation that they walked, allows us to see the Rapa Nui people in a new light. Not as a fallen civilization, but as a sophisticated and highly intelligent society capable of extraordinary feats of collaborative engineering and artistic expression. Their legacy is not just one of mystery, but of ingenuity, community, and a deep spiritual connection to their land and their ancestors. The Easter Island heads, now understood as full-bodied statues that once walked, stand as a powerful testament to the incredible potential of human cooperation. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the past as fascinating as I did, be sure to explore more stories of our shared history by subscribing to my channel, Historical Repo.